My name is Jennifer Hale, and for those who don't know me, I'm the fundraising officer at Launchpad. This is my first big sleep out. I just joined the organization in March of this year after moving to the UK from Canada. And I'm really excited to be here as part of tonight's activities and representing such an important organization. Really grateful to each one of you who's at home right now, in your garden, in your front room, in your office park, wherever you might be taking part in this big sleep out. You all made a choice to be here tonight, and we really appreciate that. And I want to talk about that idea a little bit further and explore the idea of choice. You've chosen to experience for one night what a person living with homelessness might face. So whether that's adverse weather, lack of sleep, isolation, and this is a challenge. It's a chance for you to push yourself. It might be a bit of fun for you and your family or your work team or your classmates. But ultimately, at any point tonight, you can choose to go into your home and end this experience. And a person experiencing homelessness doesn't have that choice. We have the privilege of choice, as well as the privilege of a home. So what is a home? Is it a place? How do we define home? The word has so much meaning to us. It has so many different emotions and feelings that it evokes on a physical and emotional level. It's deeply personal and it's unique to every person. So for instance, I'm from Canada. I've lived in Canada my whole life up until last year. And so Canada still feels very much like home to me. But emotionally, home is where my husband and my daughter and my dog are. So home is here. It's vital. It's organic. So is it a place? Is it a feeling? Is it both? I'd like you all to take a moment, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and think about the physical space of your home. What is it? Write down some of the physical things that make your home a home. I would imagine you're writing down things like the walls, plumbing, furniture, your personal items, maybe the artwork you hang on your wall or your favorite coffee mug. Is it the idea of shelter? So literally having a roof over your head. And now I want you to think about the emotional aspects of home. What do you feel when you think of the word home? Not just house, but home. Is it a sense of stability? Is it safety? Is it your loved ones? Is it your family? Is it a sense of tradition? Comfort? Peace? I do recognize that it's important to acknowledge that not everyone has that positive emotional connection to home. For some, the words and feelings associated with home might have been very different, and home might be a painful or an unsafe space. And for some, that could also be one of the causes of homelessness. But for many, the idea of home is rooted in safety, security, and comfort. A place where one can be oneself, genuine, free. A place where we can shed any pretense or persona or curating of our lives and be who we are without apology or explanation. And a place where we can recharge, refresh, and renew to leave home the next day and go back out into the world. Often we don't consider that a person experiencing homelessness isn't only missing those physical aspects of home, like walls or plumbing or furniture. They're also missing those feelings of safety, security, comfort, being able to be themselves, free. Robert Frost called home something you somehow haven't to deserve, meaning that a home should be something that doesn't need to be earned or achieve. You shouldn't have to achieve home. And when we look even deeper at the causes of homelessness, while some of them are related to personal choices that have led some people into their current situation, others are completely external and affect individuals through no fault of their own. And ultimately, everyone, regardless of choice or chance, is deserving of home, physically and emotionally. By taking part in the Big Sleep Out at home, you acknowledge with us that people shouldn't have to achieve home, that everyone is deserving of that space of home. You've all worked so hard in your communities to raise funds and awareness for the most vulnerable people in our community, to help restore their sense of safety, security, and comfort, and ensure that they're treated with dignity and respect, despite what chances or choices have led them into their current situation. I want to thank you all for the work that you've done, for joining Team Launchpad on our mission. And I want to wish you the best of luck tonight as you sleep out. And I hope that you'll take some time to reflect on what this experience means to you. And now I'm very pleased to introduce Jessie Blakemore, a university student who went to college here in Reading and is now studying philosophy. And she's going to bring us a beautiful spoken word piece that she's written for this occasion. And after Jessie's poem, we're going to bed down for the night with a wonderful bedtime story from broadcasting legend Chris Tarrant.
I'm alright, I promise. Well, actually being perfectly honest, I don't wanna be talking. I'll have to lie about my situation, sleeping through the night, living just above a red line, fine line, try by a situation, getting worse every time. Try to stay up on your feet, contemplate my past mistakes and the path it let me down, grounded by the pavement, it ain't never let me down. Conversations with concrete, and this blue wave I can't shake when I wake up with my makeup on my pillowcase. And this blue wave I can't shake when I wake up with my makeup on a different pillowcase. Seems like the only light left on is the moon. You don't see me, but I see you. Oh, I will leave a light on. I will leave the light on. And I'm not tired, I promise. Well, actually being perfectly honest, I've been chasing sleepless nights, losing every time. Sofa surfing, taking tours on remnants of my eyes closed, wet from a sky tide. Death cries, cheeks dry. I need to save myself from me. Celebrate in the elevator to a hotel room, going up, but I'm down direction, it ain't changing soon. No, 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 no. And this blue wave I can't shake when I wake up with my makeup on a different pillowcase. And this blue wave I can't shake when I wake up with my makeup on a different pillowcase every day. Seems like the only light left on is the moon. You don't see me, but I see you. Oh, I will leave a light on. I will leave a light on. I will leave a light on. I will leave.
Hello, I'm Chris Tarrant, and yes, I do very badly need a haircut. I'm really sorry I can't come to your Launchpad event on October the 10th. I have actually got a really good cop-out, and actually I quite like things like that. I've done it before, and I've got a really nice sleeping bag, so I'd quite enjoyed it. But October the 10th is my birthday. I can't tell you what birthday it is, but it's quite a big one. It's not a huge one, but it's quite a big one. And obviously I'm spending time that day and that night with my various kids, etc. So I can't come. And I lived in Berkshire on and off all my life. But when I came back to sort of settle again in deepest Berkshire, I got involved with Launchpad. And I just thought, this is a great charity. And I'm so sorry. I really am genuinely sorry. I would have loved it. It would have been a good laugh if we'd all got wrapped up, kept warm. I'm sorry I can't come to your sleep out. So they asked me, would I read a book for you? And I thought, okay, be fine. I like this. It's sort of for kids of all ages. And it's about, the sadness that happens in some people's lives. It's by a lady called Laura E. Williams. I'll try and show you as many of the pictures as I can. It's quite difficult. But we'll see what we do. The homeless man slowly pushed his battered shopping cart down the sidewalk. At the corner trash barrel, he stopped and poked through the garbage with a long stick. He leaned into the barrel and dug out an empty soft drink can, which he dropped into his cart. I think we can just have a look at him there. That's him. So he picked up cans from all over town. A few minutes later, he approached Tim. And as he approached Tim, the man waved. Now there's Tim, the boy, sitting on his steps. And there's the man with his cart. Tim returned the wave with a smile. Almost everyone called the man the can man, but not Tim's parents. We remember when Mr. Peters lived in apartment 3C. Tim's mummy told him. He used to work at the auto body shop before it went out of business, and he just couldn't find another job. He's been down on his luck for quite a while now. Getting chilly, said the can man as he went rattling on by. Tim looked up at the grey sky. It sure is, he said, and he zipped his nice warm jacket up and slipped his hands into his pockets to stay warm. A few minutes later, there he is, Mike, Tim's friend, arrived. He whizzed up on his skateboard. His cheeks were really red from the cold. Want to go skateboarding in the park, he asked. Tim shook his head. Nah, it's no fun always borrowing your board and your brother's old gear. maybe you'll get your own board for your birthday next week, said Mike. Tim shrugged. Don't think so. Dad says we don't have any extra money for toys or sports stuff this year. We've just got too many bills to pay. Oh, bummer, said Mike. He kicked away from the steps. I'll see you later. Tim watched his friend speed away. Silently, Tim just wished and wished for a skateboard for his birthday, even though he knew that birthday wishes don't very often come true. Tim knew exactly which board he wanted. He'd been eyeing it at Overtime Sports, there it is, on special offer for months. And now it was going on sale. But even at the reduced price, and with the money that Tim had saved from his allowance, the board was still too expensive. I need a job, thought Tim, so I can earn money to buy myself a skateboard. Just down the street, the can man threw 2 more cans into his cart. The empties hit the growing pile, clinking like the coins in Tim's little sister's piggy bank. The sound gave Tim an idea. Early Saturday morning, Tim was up and about. He rushed to get dressed. He grabbed a pair of rubber gloves and 4 big plastic bags, there he is, from under the sink. What are you up to, said his mum. I've got a job to do, said Tim. Then he added with a grin, don't worry, I'll be home in time for lunch. Outside, the cold air raised goosebumps on Tim's arms. He jumped down the stairs and headed for the first trash barrel on the sidewalk. An empty can lay right on top. After checking several more barrels, Tim had filled half a bag. At 5 cents a can at the redemption centre, he reckoned he'd have enough money for a skateboard in no time. A few blocks from the park, Tim stopped in to see Yamal at Bunus Bakery. There's Yamal and there's Tim, seeing if he can get some work. What, any cans? Do you have any empty soft drink cans? Asked Tim. Well, I usually save them for the can man, said Jamal. He needs them. Well, I need them too. I'm going to use the money to buy myself a skateboard for my birthday. Tim said to Jamal, I'll even work to earn the cans. Well, Jamal hesitated. Maybe just this one time. I do have some crates you can carry to the back room. It's a deal, said Tim. After he had moved the crates and collected the cans as payment, Tim ran down the street, stopping at every trash barrel, store and restaurant. By noon, he had 2 full bags of cans. There he is, looking very pleased with himself. He clattered them up the stairs of his building and plopped down on the top step. Collecting cans was harder than Tim thought it was going to be. His gloves were sticky and his clothes smelt like the root beer that he spilled on himself. But the thought of a brand new skateboard made him smile. Very soon he'd have one of his own. No more borrowing Mike's board, he'd have his own skateboard. Now, what have you got here? Asked Tim's mum when he dragged the bags into the kitchen. Well, they're full of cans, that's the mum. They're full of cans for recycling. And there's his little sister. I'm trying to get some money for a skateboard. Well, doesn't Mr. Peters usually collect the cans around here, said his mum. Yeah, Tim nodded. I am, but I'm only going to take them until my birthday, I promise. Well, you can't keep them in here, said his mum, not in the kitchen. Take them to the basement and then wash up for lunch. Tim knew it was no use arguing, so he bumped the bag downstairs to the basement. They crackled and clunked with every step. Now, on Sunday after church, Tim hurried from one stinky trash barrel to the next, collecting empty cans. For the rest of the week, he had to wait until after school. Tim knew the can man always took the same route, so he started in the opposite direction. That way, he got to some of the trash barrels before the can man did. On the Saturday, Tim awoke to icy drivel, squiggling down the window. With a groan, he dragged himself out of his nice warm bed and into the kitchen. Tim's dad patted him on the shoulder. Bad news, Tim, said his dad. You're going to have to stay indoors today. Oh, Dad, this is my last chance to collect cans. I can't let a little rain stop me. His dad looked out the window and said, "Okay, but don't stay outside too long, you'll get a chill." On the sidewalk, Tim poked through a few trash barrels. The rain made the garbage smell even worse than usual, and there wasn't a single can to be found. Keeping his face down to shield it from the cold rain, Tim ran toward the next trash barrel. Thump! Tim jerked his head up. "Oh, sorry," he said. "You okay, kid?" said the can man. "Yeah, sure." Tim looked into the cart. All he saw was an old bucket of paint and a few empty soft drink cans. The rain kept pinging on them hollowly. "Haven't found many cans lately," said the can man, poking his stick into the trash barrel. "How are you doing? I've seen you out collecting." "I've got 7 bags full of them at home." "7 bags," said the can man, his eyes wide. "My birthday is tomorrow," explained Tim. "I'm going to use the money to buy a skateboard. What are you collecting for?" The can man shivered. "Well, I wouldn't mind a new coat before the snow starts flying." Tim swallowed. "Oh. Well, kid, see you around." The can man pushed his cart down the sidewalk, his ripped old jacket flapping open with every step. So there he goes, and there's Tim. And maybe Tim is now feeling a little bit guilty. When the rain stopped, Tim called Mike. Then Tim dragged his bags of cans from the basement to the front of the building. He sat on the steps to wait. Mike rolled up in his skateboard. "Looks like you'll have enough for a great board once you turn in these cans," he said. "I guess so," said Tim. The boys looked up as the clatter of the can man's cart came toward them. The can man stopped at the bottom of the stairs. "You need help with your bags?" "Okay," said Tim, "thank you." They loaded the bags into the cart, and the can man pushed it while Tim and Mike kept the pile from toppling over. There they go, on their way to the redemption centre. At the redemption centre, it took a long time for Tim and Mike to push all the cans into the machine. Tim collected his coins in a paper bag that he brought along, specially to collect the money. By the time the boys were done depositing the cans, the can man had left. Tim looked outside. Flakes of snow were sprinkling down from the sky, beginning to dust the parking lot. He shook the bags that held his money. The coins rattled like a cart full of empty cans. Suddenly, Tim headed outside. "Where are you going?" called Mike. You know what's going to happen, don't you? Tim ran and caught up the can man. He caught up with the can man, holding out the bag of coins. Tim said, "This money's for you." The can man stared in surprise. "But you earned it. You worked hard for your money for your skateboard." "It's okay," said Tim. "I really want you to have it." The can man blinked a few times, pretending that snowflakes had blown into his eyes. "Thanks, kid. What's your name, anyway?" "I'm Tim," said Tim. "Thanks, Tim. My name's Joe Peters," said the can man, smiling. "I know," said Tim. "My mum and dad remember you from when you lived in our building. You were a lovely man." The can man's smile faded. "That was a long time ago," he said. Then he shook the bag of coins. "Thanks again." "You're very welcome," said Tim. When he got home, Tim plunked down on the front steps of his building. So, he wouldn't get a skateboard for his birthday, but somehow it didn't matter that much anymore. The next day, wearing a new birthday pair of jeans, Tim wandered outside to wait for Mike. On the top step, Tim's foot bumped into a large plastic bag. It was tied closed with a long string attached to an empty root beer can. Tim gently kicked the bag. Something was in it. He untied the string and peeped inside. It's a skateboard. Tim slowly ran his hands over the beautifully painted wood and spun the wheels. The skateboard wasn't new, but it was fixed up with a fresh coat of paint and oiled wheels. It even had his name painted neatly across the bottom. Now, who do you think left that? Just then, Tim heard the rattle of the can man's cart. As he approached, the can man looked up and waved. "Happy birthday, Tim," he called. Grinning, Tim waved back with his new skateboard. "Thank you, Mr. Peters. Thanks a lot." Look at him now, with all his mates, and you know who made and painted up his lovely new skateboard. So that's the Can Man. It's a lovely story. Hey, thanks to everybody at Launchpad for what you do. Have a great night. I am really sorry. I know some of you don't believe it. I'm really sorry I can't be there because it will be good fun. But have a great night. Please raise lots and lots of money and awareness for people with the homelessness in London and in Reading and all over the UK. Just make people aware, and if you can raise some money on the night, we'd all be very grateful. Thank you, and I'm sorry I can't be there. God bless you.
There he is, the granddaddy himself.
I'm in so much trouble.
It's so much trouble. I didn't call you that, Chris.
Grandad Chris, we love you
well,
and your
look-
stories.
That must be making everybody feel rather sleepy
Yes.
and ready for bed. What a fantastic evening it's been. I think we've all learnt a lot.
I think we have. I learnt a lot about my cooking skills. They were a little bit rubbish, but I hope you made something tasty and nutrition with your little food parcel.
We know more about Launchpad, about what Launchpad does. I did spectacularly in the quiz. I got every single question right.
Did you?
I actually...
Did you?
Yeah.
And your den building. Oh my gosh, you're the master of den building. It was amazing. Your coffin Hawaiian thing. I mean, who knew that was going to work?
Yeah, it was actually Polynesian.
Was it?
I don't want to be
I'm
picky.
so-
Don't want to be picky about
So
these
picky.
things. Yes, it was spectacular.
So we really want you to make a donation. Obviously, that's why we're all here. So you can make a donation at launchpadreading.org.uk/donation.
And don't forget, we want to see all of this happening in your own homes, on social media. If you forget where they are, look, they're on the frame. Twitter at launchpad_RDG. Facebook at launchpad_RDG.
Go on, man.
And Instagram at launchpadreading. You know I can see that on your frame.
Yes.
I haven't remembered that.
I thought, God, he's good. He's so good.
I'm so good at reading. That's all it is. So yeah, there you go. And you can use the frame, stick your mushes in it. It will be much more attractive than ours. Okay, so I want to talk to you about what happens tomorrow morning. Virtual breakfast. #virtual breakfast. Let's call it that. With Kate and Kirsty. As you probably understand, this year, this period is different to any other period that we've been through. And for Launchpad, that makes it very challenging. Kate and Kirsty are going to run you through some of the changes, some of the ideas that they've had about what the next year might look like, and you need to be a part of that. You need to make sure that you are across what could be happening, and any ideas that you have for fundraising, for helping the work that Launchpad does, please comment as part of Facebook Live and get in touch, whether it's today, whether it's later on, it doesn't matter. Now, typically, the Christmas card that was in your pack, I completely got the wrong end of the stick for that. Mish, what's it actually for?
Okay, so imagine that you're not going to get a Christmas card because you're not in the best position, because maybe you found yourself being helped by Launchpad and maybe you're on the streets. So what we want you to do is take your Christmas card that's in your pack and we want you to fill it in. Maybe put something thoughtful in it, a nice message, something hopeful, and then send it back to us and we will pass it on to one of our clients. So that might be the only Christmas card they get. So have a think, write something nice in it and send it back to us, please.
Okay, I get the feeling that could make a massive difference to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, if it's the only card you get, wow, what an impact. So that is what you should do with your Christmas card, not what I suggested. But apart from all of that, we want to thank you for being there tonight and doing it. And doing it for the very, very simple, as Jen said, that really nobody should have to sleep out in the cold. Nobody should be worried about the place that they live and whether that's secure and what's coming next. That's why you're all out there tonight. We thank you so much for doing that and doing it essentially so other people don't have to. So sleep well, be warm, and we'll see you in the morning.
Ta-da!